Robert, I was thinking of making a tree house. And I've been brushing up my skills in my carpentry.
Oh, that sounds like a fun project. Were you thinking about something simple like a platform or a full-blown house with a roof and walls?
No, I want the whole package with the roof, the walls, the doors, the windows. Who knows? I might even live there.
Wow. Okay, well, I've heard of tree houses like that. In that case, you want to make sure that the walls are plumb, the floors are level, and the corners are square.
Right, and all those terms have very specific meanings in carpentry.
Yeah, for example, when carpenters say square, they mean that the building is measured using an outside square so that the walls are perpendicular and parallel to that square.
And plumb means that the walls are perfectly...
It's a really old word. It comes from the Latin word for lead, plummum. The Romans would hang a lead weight from a string to find the vertical.
I was just totally teasing you. I knew that all the way along. So the way to check for plumb is you hang a weight from a point in order to establish a line that's perpendicular to the ground.
And finally, you check for level.
Right, which is important because the ground is not always level and you need a level plane to measure from. So, two lines define a plane. So you hang your weight
called a plumb bob.
So you hang the plumb bob from the corners of the square, whose sides are level and whose measure is the same distance from each corner. Then when you put the floor into the corners, the floor should be level.
That's it. A triangle works as well, but it's easier to verify that the corners of a square are right angles, so carpenters often use a square.
You know what, let's put this to the test, shall we? Let's go check if that door frame is vertical, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so once the string stops swinging, you can tell that the string is vertical. And the door frame is parallel to the string, therefore, the door frame is vertical.
Yeah, and that's a relief because otherwise the door would swing open on its own. Swing. It's a joke.
Let's go show them how the first square is made. Yeah, you can work on it. We'll work on it together.
Swing.
It can get better.
So we've used the plumb bob to create these 4 uprights, and now we'll start working on our first square. That's where a spirit level comes into play. You choose a corner, your first corner, and you run a rail all the way over to your second corner.
Now, I have the spirit level. So the way you can tell that the beam is level is when the bubble is in between the markings. So we are good.
And it helps to make sure that the rail stays parallel to the floor, or at least where the floor will be. Now, when you're done taking all your measurements for your house, you can just take the rails down. Should we give it a shot?
Let's drill.
All right.
Come on. Don't get your thumb.
Watching the thumb. Drilling.
Drilling.
All right.
All right, so 1 level line down, 3 more to go.
Now we need to make a 90-degree corner. We can use a carpenter square to do that. Then we'll run a rail to our third corner, and we'll use the spirit level just like we did before.
Okay, so we repeat it then until we get back to where we started?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So if we were careful with our measurements, we should end up exactly where we started at. Ta-da!
Yeah!
So now we have a level square to measure from, and we can make sure that our walls are perpendicular to that square by using a plumb bob.
That's pretty simple all in all, you know? I can't wait to try out my tree house.
Yeah, everything should work out just fine, keeping everything plumb, level, and square. Oh, what's in your treehouse design?
Oh, well, I just picked out the kitchen tile, so that's going to be
Kitchen,
nice.
you're gonna cook up there?
Well, I don't know about cooking, but I need a place to put my plums.
Oh, a place you can work on your jokes.
You're not into this tree house. You're not invited.
I'll bring plums.
Yeah.